What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 9 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Lokhir Fellheart Old World campaign. So as we saw last time, the Helldrakes shined last episode. They were doing Helldrake things, as Helldrakes do, and obliterating whether it be orcs or Imperials. And down where Calith's Black Ark is currently still solo. We are probably going to send at least one more Black Ark down here. We probably want one to patrol this coastline and annoy Imric and whatnot, and then another maybe to... Oh wait, there's no coastline here. This is just the... maybe one is sufficient here, depending. We have Pestilence here if we want to potentially attack them, but it was that a Skull Island? No, just a regular island. Although, I do see islands down here. Certainly warrants a little trip, and Calith is very much on the island. A lot of islands down here. That's where all the islands were. But anyway, I digress. This time around, it's a brand new turn, and we gotta get a move on with lots of stuff. We need to pick up more money, as we do have 3 new Black Arks, which need to get operational, and both need to be upgraded, which is fairly expensive, and their troops recruited as well. And don't forget that the Black Arks do generate a fair bit of income. We can see we make more from the Black Arks than we do from actual trading. In fact, compared to our building income, the Black Arks alone are, what, a little less than, well, not quite 3 times as much in terms of building income compared to the Horde buildings, 2.5 times maybe, something along those lines. It's still very, very good, as the Black Arks are also generating a ton of income by attacking and territory and all that. But anyway, I digress. Let's do stuff. Mr. Lokhir, I guess we're going to Dragon Falls again. We can have, I was going to say have Sirare deal with it. Oh, you can't reach it? I really didn't want to waste Lokhir's turn here, but I guess there's no choice. Alright, fine, fair enough. If Sirare can't, she can at least reinforce, because she needs to get to rank 10 to get that name of power. And Lokhir, you are going to... If only we could retain our movement after raising the place, but... Wait, Sirare, you're not reinforcing? What the heck? I guess this paladin interfered. Fair enough. Now you're reinforcing. Auto resolve, please, and still got 2.7k out of it. Solid. And I guess we either loot and occupy it. I'm very tempted to raise the place, but then we can at least trade it for something if we just occupy it. So there is that to consider. And just occupied, whatever. No, I was just thinking of any way we could get out of this and save the points. Anyway, Sea Serpent Standard for Sirare. Well, you know, I do like the Frenzy, but we can't pop it on Lokhir. I feel like... Oh, there's Death Singer. Oh, isn't it beautiful? I was waiting to try to get either Death Singer or and Doomsinger, though funnily enough, now that we have Helm of the Kraken, it isn't as needed, but it's still probably a pretty good option, though we do lose magical attacks if we do this, but nonetheless, it is Frenzy and Regeneration in combination. It makes Lokhir a little bit more tanky, even at the cost of the magical damage. I wonder if we can pick up another item that'll give him magical damage. Actually, just out of curiosity, do the Red Blades have magical damage on them? They do not. Either way. Well, that's really unfortunate. I mean, you could lose the Banner of Swiftness and give him a Lichbone Pendant if we had one, but that might be in the future. But anyway, what I was gonna say is maybe the Sea Serpent Standard could go to Calith, though Frenzy on him himself is kind of a waste, to be perfectly honest. If we give him a couple of Sea Dragons, maybe. I just feel like he should have the Standard since he's using them. Anyway, let's go for, at least for now... what? Dread Banner, Standard of Hagreep. Oh, it's probably... Yeah, it's down here. Oh, we have 2 of them. Alright, fine, give her 2 of them. We could give Frenzy to a couple of the... Oh, they already have Frenzy. Well, of course they do. Anyway, we'll deal with that later. Actually, if Lokhir later gets a couple of Black Ark Corsairs of the Creeping Dread variety, then we could give them those. But anyway, Camring, I think you gotta fight, sir. You got a Manticore. Let's see if you can take down the Fey Enchantress here. She does have a unit of Grail Guardians, which are going to be a problem. Will she run? She will not. Valiant defeat, casualties high. I mean, the Fey Enchantress plus the Grail Guardians themselves are going to be a major issue, but the rest of the army isn't all that crazy. Camring, good luck. Alrighty, kill indeed. And I imagine that the enemy army, once they hear kill or no mercy or slay them or whatever from the Dark Elves, are all probably like, oh, thanks Sigmar or thank the lady, they're not taking prisoners today. Anyway, here we go. We're going to start the battle off by annoying one of the enemy units of men-at-arms. Tried to go after the Grail Guardians immediately with all of our Dark Riders with repeater crossbows and our Reaper bolt throwers, but unfortunately, the enemy army simply backed that critical unit off. Still, we'll keep an eye on them while sort of pincushioning any other units that we can. The peasant infantry aren't really going to be a threat, especially as the primarily man-at-arms based units that the enemy has here, unlike the foot squires, are just not threatening enough to be of concern. Admittedly, battle pilgrims can be annoying because of the unbreakable thing, but otherwise, the regular peasants, not so much. Anyway, the Grail Guardians were staying back, but it looks like with the first of the enemy men-at-arms units melted away and other units being now targeted and damaged, they are ready to move, with the rest of the entire enemy army, of course, but ready to move. And thus, we'll be targeting them as quickly as we can. Both of the Reaper Bolt Throwers will switch to single shot and go after the Grail Guardians. Of course, these are one of the tankiest cavalry units in the game. They've got regeneration, they're unbreakable, they've got tons of resistances and whatnot. And damn, that Grail banishment. Man, imagine... I'm actually kind of excited to play Bretonnia again. The Grail Banishment with all of those minus 25s combined with the other Trickster Shard, which has a similar kind of debuff, basically completely negating all enemy types of resistances, should be pretty useful, especially in SFO, which gives you the ability to often stack resistances higher than vanilla. Anyway, Camring, now a much bigger threat on his Manticore than he was on that chariot of his earlier, goes after the Fey Enchantress with one of his Medusa, and together bring her down to about half HP. We have taken a little bit of damage on one of our units of Dark Riders, and I believe one of the two units of Dark Riders, I should say, as the enemy has been firing back, but that's about to end, at least to some degree, as our Harpies have arrived. The 3 units of Harpies have separated, with one of them going after the 2 enemy Trebuchets, and then the other 2 going after the enemy Bowman, Peasant Bowman, and that's the one. Anyway, the Crows of Cain here should be a little bit killier and faster at getting rid of the Trebs, which is great, and it looks like the Grail Guardians are very much in trouble now, down to about 25% of their HP, and not yet having... Ooh, beautiful. Great shot from the Medusa, knocking one of the Grail Guardians off of their mount. And it looks and there's another one, and another Grail Guardian falls. They're down to 9 units now, still a lot of HP, but we've been waiting. We've been shadowing their movements with the Black Arc Reaver, getting ready to pop off that vile net of his, netting them down, allowing the anti-large crossbows and the regular crossbows to hit them as well. Or the anti-large handbows and the regular crossbows from the Dark Shards. And there we go. And they're down to maybe 10% of their HP. Still 8 units, about half of them remain. There we go. There's the railgun. Another one falls. And they're slowed down or something now, or they're maybe just being staggered by the constant fire. In the meantime, I believe the Fey Enchantress has been brought down, but we saw that Camring and the Medusa were very much able to defeat her. There is still a paladin here, but the Grail Knights will have achieved nothing, and with the fall of the Fey Enchantress as well as her personal coterie of Grail Guardians defeated, the rest of the army will shatter, and the battle will be ours. Funnily enough, we took a fair bit of damage from the enemy Trebuchets and Peasant Bowmen, probably more so than from any of the knightly or cavalry units, and that's pretty interesting, but, you know, oftentimes, especially in early to mid-game for the Bretonnian armies, the Peasant Bowmen are what do a lot of your work, so fair enough. Anyway, the enemy army will run, but we will run them down. Alright, there we go. Got ourselves a gleaming pennant, which admittedly I don't generally care for. It's a relatively small effect, and I find the discipline thing, which is the buff if your lord dies, relatively useless, but yeah, almost never happens. But anyway, at least some leadership. Anyway, another close victory for Cammering. Definitely have to work for our victories with this army, and that's part of the fun, though, certainly. The Dark Shards might be still warranted to get taken out in favor of more of a hybrid unit, as we don't have enough of a melee line. In fact, we don't really have one at all. But anyway, Cammering a little bit more useful on that Manticore, I think, than on the Scourge Runner Chariot in this particular army, though that'll change. Well, a different army will make use of Scourge Runners. Otherwise, the Fey Enchantress goes down. Her Grail Guardians, absolutely useless. Admittedly, we devoted a lot of resources to bringing those guys down, but at the end of the day, it was probably worth it. Now, we do need a fair bit of cash, and we are, I think, safe from the next attack to heal up for a turn, so we'll ransom the captives. Ooh. Also, how'd we do on the Harpies? 12 and 11,000 damage. We got 13, 14, 14, and hey, what are you doing? Oh, you guys got charged by the mounted Yemen, so it does make sense that your damage wasn't quite as high. Reaper Bolt Throwers did okay as well, and as for the handbows, at 192 by a huge margin, at 192 kills and 19,000 damage, it's Fellheart's Steersman. Ransom captives, please. Oh, and if you can reach this, maybe we can heal up after that. Looks like you can. Haha. Alrighty. Alright, I'll resolve that. And, oh, please don't tell me you're going to go down to 1 HP there, Mr. Manticore Rider. No, it doesn't look like it. Alright, Enslave with a little bit of HP. And then we got a free unending volley, I see. Now, technically this is... Oh, you're in... Oh, I don't like that. Wait. You're in the Skaven Plague territory. Go back to... this is going to be enemy territory regardless, isn't it? Well, go back as close to Castle Aquitaine as you can, then, I guess. We probably shouldn't raid here just in case this is actually Skaven territory, even if it's not clear whether it is. Ranger's Quiver will go to somebody. And I think we could do a few names in this particular army. Hey, Casualty or Punishment to raid plus 10% will really help with this army, especially if we don't have a Death Hag in here. Huh. Although a Bloodrat Cauldron Medusa might be nice as well. Help the melee line a little bit. I'll think about it. And, yeah, this might be allowing us to forego the Death Hag in this army, generally speaking. Anyway, you're level 20 now. You... let's see, Confer Bloodlust will buff both the Harpies and the Medusae, though it'll be a while until we're ready for them. Technically, Cull the Unworthy will help the Dark Shards, but if we don't keep them in here... that remains to be seen, though we will get buffs for the Reaper Bolt Throwers. I'll start with Confer Bloodlust, I think. Frankly, I feel like this guy's really going to need the Award of Cain sooner rather than later, because... Oh, we can get both. Because he needs to not take as many hits as he's quite vulnerable. But anyway, as I was saying, let's do a few names in here. So Harpies, you'll be Hags of Varen or Varan, not entirely sure. We have the Muse of Terror as the first Medusa, and the second one will be the Pain Song Siren. Like so, and then Dark Shards, just because they might not stay in this army, doesn't mean that we can't have them both be named, and you can be Lokhir's Dread Eyes. Like so. Alrighty. That makes me reasonably happy with these guys for now. Oh, you know what we could also do? Let's name the Cavalry. We haven't named any of them, really. Alright, so Cold One Knights. We'll start with you. Dread Raiders. Gonna do a little round of names before we continue. We go Blood Trail Chasers. And... well, this one's technically for Cold One Knights. I think it works just as well for the Cold One Chariot. Cold Ones with the boys. Oh, wow, I can't believe that fits. Just barely. So let's name the Doomfire Warlocks as well. It's not like we have a lot of them yet. Marked for Thirst. Oh. Marked for Thirst for you, and you can be Hoeth's Forsaken. Perfect. Alright, that's enough for now. Let's get back to doing things that are things, as opposed to things that are not things, you know. Alarian, now you are proceeding all the way towards Barfleur to hopefully capture it before the Drown do. Again, admittedly, there's a decent likelihood of us betraying them, but, you know, we'll see. You try to sail around. I want you to keep Alarion in the zone of control, or the circle, or the area of influence, which by the looks of it you do. Yes, you do. All right, so you're going to go into a Dread expansion, and you're going to get a couple more, 3 more Black Ark Corsairs, so that you can grab Barfleur next turn. This is just a defensive army. It'll probably never come into actual real combat, so just need to be able to defend stuff, which these guys can do, though admittedly we're probably better off using handbow Corsairs for defensive purposes, but if we need to auto-resolve melee territories, or territories as well, then better in our current state is what I'm getting at. You, for whatever crazy reason, cannot reach Castle Languille, so you'll just go up to it as close as you can, and who knows, maybe these guys will come for us. Slaneshi giggle. Alarion is good, Admiral Bolthanol. You have just moved, Admiral Caliph Beastbinder. So you, I believe, are heading towards an island as well as Asaf's Key. This is a fell cargo, so you're going to go right beside it. And then you're going to sack Asaf's Key again, maybe occupy it and sell it to the Agents of the Moon. Maybe have them break some more agreements, or maybe even declare war on somebody. Huh, what are you doing? I think you can attack us. Even with us in March stance. Or full speed stance. Anyway, you're gonna head out here. Though, just in case they have another hidden army nearby, let's level up. I don't trust it. Loose for you, and we have a lot of Black Ark Corsairs which can now benefit from Ravager rewards, so that's a significant power up for the army. Black Ark Reaver. Max out increased mobility. And I'm gonna say grab tough as nails, I guess. We do want strength through spite earlier, but, you know, we'll get it eventually, soon, hopefully. Earthing, magical reserves, and arcane conduit. That's the easy one. Gotta have that power recharge and spell mastery. And Caliph, you're good, at least for now. Admiral Moksha, you. I believe you can leave Bordelot. I'm really hoping that there isn't an army to immediately retake it, because... I mean, I guess we could afford to upgrade it to level 2 and build a defensive structure here immediately if we wanted to. I mean, that's a better way to do it. Alright, go for that then. It would mean foregoing the Morso Valley Vineyard immediately, but it's better to be able to actually leave here, so let's do that. Like so, there we go. Now the place should be able to defend itself to some degree. What kind of island is this? Remnants of battle means no battle, means you're gonna head out here and grab that, while Admiral Karond Kar goes for the Silent Isle. We still have to head towards Tourist Vigilance and Castle Mousillon. Fell Cargo or Arabian Arms? I think for potential auto-resolves we'll go for Arabian Arms, and Heavy Iron is a decent thing to have. There we go. Oh no, I clicked on Mousillon, my bad. Alright, well now we're waiting for the thing to unlag itself. How's everybody doing? Why, you're doing it? Okay. There you go. It does get on your nerves a little bit, what can you do? Anyway, Karond Kar, head for the Silent Isle. Like so, and auto-resolve. Hopefully it doesn't... It shouldn't hurt the Raven Heralds. Okay, I was worried there for a second. And... still worth it to sack it? Maybe. Yeah, go for it, why not? And hey, another factor. Nice. Let's, I think masters can hold factors, right? Unless I'm mistaken. It's not just... Ooh, you're rank 10. Name of power. Yes. That was completely on purpose. What do we have here? A Fated Shield gives you ward save 10 versus Discouraged effect. I don't mind the Discouraged effect, but you need it in specific armies, basically. If you're not stacking anti-leadership, it's not going to be worth much, so I think this is not worth too much here. So we'll go for Blood Ward and grab Fated Shield for the free ward save, make these guys a little bit stronger in terms of their fighting capabilities. What was I going to say? Factor. Oh, I guess it can only go to Lords. Alright, that's fine. Moksha, do you have a factor? You do not. There we go. Lots of Black Arcs means lots of factor potential. Ooh, also... I was gonna say, let's level these guys, but we can also level them later. Anyway, Karond Kar, back to you, sir. Go for Silent Isle and occupy it now, and we are 1 territory away from occupying the place in full. We popped Slave Drive here, which means that the public order ain't gonna be great, but in 10 turns we'll be able to fix it. Just have to pay attention. Alrighty. That looks good to me. We really desperately need a bunch of extra main settlements, just because without them we can't have more sorceresses and a bunch of other capacities, which is obviously a problem. Anyway, that was Moksha and Dekunkar. Where is Rinmo? Oh, right, we have to grab Marais, don't we? Alright, that's fine. You know what we can do? Mr. Barbstorm. I think what we can do with you, I mean, grab these guys temporarily, just for the attack here, but then give them back. I think Mr. Barbstorm can... Well, let's do that. I think Mr. Barbstorm can go here. Nangaron, indeed. Besiege this for now, for a second. And let's see, we have Fleet Master, we could probably grab Line Breaker, and we can go Sheaf Master, yes. Alright, so Mr. Barbstorm will live up to the name with his Reaper Bolt Throwers. We already have them built, so why not use them, right? I was intending to go a Reaper Bolt Thrower heavy army. That means we'll remove the Dark Shards and the Black Arc Corsairs and give, or the melee Black Arc Corsairs, and either go with more range Black Arc Corsairs or possibly some more Reaper Bolt Throwers, because it's completely necessary, clearly. Anyway. You can sack this real quick. Huh, Alberic is there. Yeah, it's probably not worth it, though. The rest of his army is just piles of peasants. If he had at least something. Oh, free warrior band, though. I do like that. And sack value is pretty decent here, so we'll definitely take the 5.7k for more recruitment. You will probably not need the warrior bane. And we got another one of those defeated Alberic things. Alright. And at least this way, this Black Arc is nearly complete. Occupy. And we were occupying this place. This place does have a port. Demand highborn hostages, and we'll see about the upgrades in a second. There's a bunch of stuff we have to do, so I'm not entirely sure. I was also thinking about this. What if we trade Castle Carcassonne to these guys, to the Wood Elves? 18,000. Oh. Okay, that... I think we gotta do that. We trade it to them. They won't like us. We trade it to them, sell it to them, I should say, and then we immediately attack them. Again, it amuses me tremendously, so yeah, why not? It's not like we're getting any real use out of this. 18k, that's... It's going to waste under the AI, isn't it? Let's do that. Huh. And now I'm wondering whether Dragon Falls will be worth anything to them. We could trade it to them next turn and immediately have Surrey take it and then raise it and then immediately have Lokhir raise Castle Carcassonne. He's got to move this way anyway. May as well raise a few Wood Elf hovels as we do. I don't see why not. Anyway, all in the future, such as it is. That's in one turn. Hey, you're supposed to build a sorceress cabin, so please do so. And 1 point... nothing critical. Okay, so you're good. You just need the actual sorceress, but to get the sorceress, we need the capacity for sorceresses, so that hasn't changed. You two. I guess we can sail these guys down through Bruce and Quenelle. They can still fight, especially with Barbstorm attacking. The support Black Arc, which is... Ooh, wait. Are you in range of... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Is this guy just very, very slightly out of range of all the Black Arcs? Like, just barely? I can't quite tell. Well, hopefully one of them is in range. Can't tell, but a little bit of extra healing would be nice, wouldn't it? Anyway. Like so, like so, like so. Actually, wait, they are in range because he's replenishing and he's not in our territory. Yes, alright, good. Everything's coming up Millhouse. Anyway, you two are going to upgrade the next levels of Black Arc because you're going to be ready to go. And then Shadow Dart, we don't really care about you because you're going to be a support/recruiter of Black Arc. And then... Maybe we should name you something so I don't never forget about that. Carrier. Shadow Dart, there we go. Admiral Carrier Shadow Dart. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's see. Rinmo and stuff. You will maybe recruit if we have some money left over this term, but let's see what we have here. First, you guys... Oh, you're recruiting, right? Yes. Next turn, we have to do a big bout of recruiting while we have the reductions, so we should probably pop those in, though the predicted income is making me a little bit nervous. We also will want one of you guys at least. Okay, so who of you has the arena? You have it, you do not have it, and you have it. Alright, so we'll use you then to recruit some more of the handbow variant, because we need more handbows in here, and I want this Black Arc basically ready to go. Assuming we get a mage, which will put you to 4 heroes, we can do 4, or 3 heroes, well, plus 1 lord. And leave 2 spaces. I guess we could put more Black Ark Corsairs in there now and then put in a couple of monsters as once we're ready, rather, to do so. Alright, that means you can recruit 2 more Black Ark... Not you. You can recruit 2 more Black Ark Corsairs with handbows. And then, oh, it's gonna be a while before you get a Sorceress, to be perfectly fair, so you can have another Black Ark Corsair as well. There we go, and then that means this Ark can probably sail down here to Quenelle and deal with them. Lovely. I like it. I like it a lot. Anyway, Phidian, Scout, and Nonus, you guys... Wait, one of you is actually supposed to go to a place. Black Armor, alright, so you're going this way. And I don't remember which of these 3 you'll join, but it's one of them, so just go over there, and then you're in the same position, so go over there. Alright, skip, 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 and here not moved, that's fine. We will now do the building, such as it is. A bit of quietude, no, we're not investing in that, it's too costly. Castle Brian and Guran set, yes. We will pay money for this. We will not rush those immediately, though. Scabreach eventually. Castle Aquitaine, we do want to get started on that slave gate, and Torbadoos is... how safe? Not that safe, it's kind of bordering enemies. I mean, we do still have... yeah, alright, fine. We'll rush this, we will build the defenses here. Why did it... okay, whatever. And then let's rush those, just gotta be careful about overdoing it. But at least this way, these places can defend themselves against basic peasant stacks. Shouldn't be a problem. And here we'll probably build something. I guess we could start with the Cainite building. Since these places are fortified, they're probably never going to make too much money, so it's probably good to make, you know, use of them as capacities. Anyway, Scabreach, I thought I looked at you already. Laqueno, I fully intend to trade you to these guys. One of these days they'll have enough money. Castle Lyonnaise, yes, build the building for defenses. You know what, let's actually take a quick look at anything here that we might need to rush. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You... I mean, we could rush this at Merton, but it's probably safe, so it's fine. Port Saul might be a little bit less so, because there could be an army here, could be an army here, and we can't see it. So yes, Port Saul, rush. And now we're good, yes? I think we are. Wait. River Brienne. I didn't realize we had started collecting income here. Saint-Jacques? Saint-Jacques is fine. Alright, now we can end the turn. Trantio will attack Clan Scryer. I don't think we care. Sure, we'll enter war on Sadavella. Why not? Alright, sacrifice the Mathan, perform Confederation Bloody Hands and Red Shield. I guess, Kuran has also confederated Carcassonne. Both factions that we just caused a little bit of damage to. It does make sense. There we go, combat focus. We have 1 turn to make use of that in combination with Raise the Banners, so this is the time to recruit, should we want to do it. Do we have wizard capacity? Okay, no wizard capacity as yet. I want to check 2 things. First, yeah, you guys might capture Kesselongi. Oh, did they just sack it? It's worthless now? We probably occupy it and sell it to them, though, since they sacked it, I guess. It'd be worth some money. Fair enough. We'll probably do that. What I wanted to double check, though, was these guys. Oh, right, these 2 are supposed to be replaced. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Alright, Kesselongi, you're currently allied with Bordeaux Errant, who we're in a fight with, in Reichland, who we are not, but it'll eventually become the case. Who's willing to pay us more money to attack the Kuhan faction? Join war against Kuhan. 1.5k, okay, maybe somebody who's weaker. Eshin, maybe? Attack Kuhan? Yeah, they're weaker, but you're also poorer, so that doesn't help much. Rapturous Excess, as we saw last time, had no money, and then the Drowned against Kuran. How about that? It's the same amount. You know, Drowned, you can keep your money since we're about to sell you a settlement, so okay, that was all a waste of time. Kill for Kuhan, then. For money. We can always do military alliance with them. I wonder how much money you'll pay for this. 7.7k. Yeah, alright, we can always betray them later. It's they're willing to give us a decent enough amount of money that I think it's worth our time. Shadow Legion we're ignoring, and nobody wants to trade, although we're getting there. A couple more settlements, and we might be able to get some trade agreements going again. Defensive alliance with Clan Ricket. Again, I don't remember where those guys are, so I'm just going to ignore them. Rapturous Sexus wants a military alliance, and I don't think so. Or at the very least, I don't care enough to do so. And we have some missions. Ally mission. Ooh, there's an army here at Raysol by the looks of it. So they might move to take one of these territories out. Well, it is what it is. Let's just select whoever we can. Hello, hello. Now, where would you be going in the middle of the ocean there, Kiriella? To here, I bet. All right. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to take these quests. I would like to keep an eye on the armies. And where are you going? Probably sailing out as well. And, okay, you're still at inland. All right, so... Harganeth, we're going to leave your missions. But we'll take the missions from these guys. Thanks, Harganeth. We'll need to meet them at sea. Alright. Anyway, let's start from the top again. I would like to, first of all, look, you're gonna leave Dragon Falls. Then we will have you trade Dragon Falls to these guys. 19, okay, it's not worth that much, but whatever. And, oh, we took all their money. Would you be willing to perhaps break your defensive alliance with Torgavon? Yes, you would. What about Ferderic? 19.7. Oh. Huh. It's kind of doing it for free. Okay, anything that's not for free, this is also free. Everything is for free? You're just willing to break all your agreements. Oh, actually, no. Huh. You're not willing to do the non-aggression pact, but you are willing to break the trade agreements. Does that feel still buggy? Well, at least you're willing to undo the non-aggression pacts, and that's not free. Maybe we'll undo the trade agreements because it feels buggy. And then, did I check the military accesses? They're also free. And, like, we could do that, but it feels cheaty because it feels buggy. And the defensive agreements are free. Man, we can't do any of those. All right, let's do one. I'm going to say do the Torgavon one, because we're going to attack Torgavon anyway. And thus, it'll make no major difference anyway. Because they'll hate each other. Well, they won't... we'd be fighting them both anyway, so yeah. All right, let's do that, and we'll take whatever money they have. Can't get them to declare war on anybody, I'd wager, either. Yeah, alright, that's fine. You can have Dragon Falls, like so. There we go. Oh, actually. Yeah, whatever. We'll do that, and then we'll immediately declare war. Don't call your allies to help. Like so, oh, and their allies have refused to join their side as well. Sucks to be them. Alright, let's steal tech on all of our tech thieves before we move. Wound, please. There should be another tech thief here. Ooh, you're out of range. Alright, so you go to Bruce, and then you will proceed to, I guess, somewhere. Alright, steal one more tech this turn. In fact, maybe both of you steal from here. And I think we should have one more tech thief, yes? You. Oh, you reached rank 10. Good for you. Too bad you don't have a name of stealing. There we go. And then you, tech thief, and go for wound, and then steal from Barfleur, and then lose your Dark Steed. Alright. I think that's the last one. Just to double check, though. Yes, we're good. Alright. Start from the top again. Lokhir. Is there any defenses here? No. Alright, so I would like Sirare to raise the place. If the Skaven want to occupy it, they're free to do so, and then we'll do the same thing at Carcassonne. We had to move anyway. I'm pretty sure Alu can't reach Sirare. Actually, I'm going to take a quick look at Sirare in a second. How to resolve this? Thanks for all your cash. And raise the place immediately. Ooh, another Fimir Balefiend for more hero action success chance for the tech thieves. Isn't that lovely? You're going to go into channeling, I guess. Just in case the Skaven occupied next turn, I don't want to raid it. Alright, Camring. You were healing. Now... Gien we're not intending to take, but Deravan, Libre, and Chateau de Paix we are. So you are going to pop into channeling stance and start heading towards Chateau de Paix. Heal up to max, grab it, and then move on to Deravan, Libre, or possibly even to Raysol in case these guys build up their stuff. Silent Isle, I'd like you to be built, and I'd like you to be rushed because we need the defenses. Lovely. Alright, that was the first two, top two. Alarian, you should be able to freely occupy this place. Go into Druki First Strike and then auto-resolve Barfleur. Oh, actually you might sack it. We got Knight Serent and we got a couple of Pegasus Knights. Wait, is this a minor settlement? It is. We could fight it, but it's not a particularly interesting army, being very similar to the ones that we fought. And I figure if this was a field battle, I'd fight it. Oh, but since this is a minor settlement battle, here's what will happen. We sit there for 5 minutes while the Reaper Bolt throwers kill 80% of the enemy army, and then we move on in and just kill everything else with range. I don't think that's going to be very interesting here, so we'll just auto-resolve it. And wow, Can you... Still occupied? Yes, you can. Yeah, look at that. All the Black Ark Corsairs with hand bows got severely damaged, but everybody else is fine. Anyway, Barfleur is now ours. We'll immediately repair you, and I think we'll actually pop the... Well, actually, the Public Order is not so bad. And we do have an army here, after all. Yeah, alright. And Defensive Army will serve its purpose. You can max out Line Breaker and then go for Route Marcher to reposition yourself. It looks good to me. And then Lyonesse, we will need to rush Barfleur quickly. Let's undo the building here and then replace it with the pastures. We need to get walled up and defending the coastline, and everything else near it will either be occupied by allies or razed. I don't really care which it is. Alright, anyway, as I was saying, Admiral Convoval, you are going to grab Castelonghi, occupied, and the next turn trade it away to these guys, hopefully for some money. It does mean we will need to... Oh. Is it worth anything to these guys as a ruin like this? It is. Lovely. Alright, then you just leave. I don't want to bother investing in it. Leave. Dread expansion. Ooh, I just realized you now have Charybdises available, don't you? You do. It's still hilariously expensive. 3.4k. I note that the... A moment. Raise the banners might not be affecting them, unless they're usually 4k to recruit. Yeah, nonetheless, I did want a couple. Everything else in this army is named with the exception of the Reaper Bolt Throwers, I think. Ocean's 80, Jerez Fang Breakers, yeah, these two are not named, and I don't think we're going to get another Black Ark here, so we'll just do... actually, wait. We could if we wanted to. Have him follow Convoval. That's not such a bad idea. Have a little Black Ark following the big Black Ark. Oh, isn't it adorable? Admiral Twern, why not? Lovely. Tyrant of Nagaron, indeed. And or Nagaroth, let's see what name of power you gamble into. Big money, come on. Yes, Life Quencher is the one I wanted. Fantastic. I actually want another one with Grim Gaze, but that'll be a bit. The reason I wanted Life Quencher was for the Sisters of Slaughter, and I know exactly what I'm doing with this army. This is going to be our contact effect army. Bleed from the Sisters of Slaughter, Poison, Deadly Toxin, and then like 3 other different poison abilities that we have via items, and venom from monsters and Doomfire Warlocks. It'll be fun. Anyway, Life Quencher it is. Exciting times. Inspiring presence, unassailable, unstoppable, unknowable, unshakable Route Marcher? And we should probably still have some Black Ark Corsairs, but I'll think about it. Sit as you are there. And, you know what? Can you... give him the 2 Black Ark Corsairs? Yeah, why not? At least I'll have some this way, and this way they're not wasted. Do you have an arena? You do not. But, oh well, what can you do? I want you to grab a couple of Charybdises, sir. For yourself. 2 Charybdises, there we go. Why Charybdises in this army? I want them to be anti-large in this army, because we have effectively no anti-large here whatsoever. Funnily enough, technically, we could get rid of the Reaper Bolt Throwers here, but they're okay. You're going to want Sisters of Slaughter now that you have Life Quencher, and we'll start by building 4 of them. Yeah, it's going to take all of our money, isn't it? Let's see if anybody else can give us a little bit more cash, because we got a lot more recruitment than this to do, and our money keeps on dropping. Now, Mr. Balthanol, you are going to leave now. And I saw an enemy... fleet out here, so go hunt it down. And if you can grab a few islands on the way... Alethanar! Wellity. You have 2 Shadow Warriors. One of the reasons I wanted to fight this guy was Shadow Warriors versus Shades. Let's hope he goes directly for us instead of sailing on down here. In fact, we might have to move either Moksha or Dekun Kar to intercept him. I guess Krakenlord Kar, because they're kind of similar to what the enemy's got going on. Let's move you this way then.
Sail, damn you!
Yes, yes, sail damn me.
Lord of Fear.
Yeah, and I figured as soon as we declared war on these guys, this is exactly what would happen, and it's a little bit unfortunate because the AI bias is insane, but they're going for us rather than these guys which are right beside them. It will give us some nice fighting against High Elves, which I'm perfectly glad for, and what I'm not glad for is the fact that this means that... should we take Martel or... I mean, I guess we gotta go down here anyway. What was I saying? Something. Something, guys. Something. Something indeed. Oh, it'll keep the Carcassonne faction a little bit stronger than I'd like. I want them to become weaker so that we can confederate them, but it is what it is. Alright, there we go, and then you can just sit there until you're ready to take either one of those places. Alright, so no money from either of those things, huh? And Caliph, you've got an island. Come on, 8k. And, oh, nothing. Oh, I could have gone into March stance. Whoops. Arms and armor. An engineer's knapsack. This will come in handy. Not for you, though. And we got ensorcelled blades, which will help with the auto-resolve. You can maybe hit SF's key. Kind of unclear. If we could sack that, that'll be a little bit of cash. Or actually, maybe... Oh, I wouldn't want to waste a turn. If you can hit it one turn, auto-resolve it, obviously... Ooh. Get the frenzy to these guys, I guess. Let's do the two that have lower levels, or lower ranks, so that they can sort of catch up to the rest. Auto-resolve this. Ouch, more damage than I'd like. Maybe loot and occupied rather than sack it. It'll allow us to heal, but it'll also not waste movement, and I wanted to sell the place anyway, so yeah, let's do that. Alright, enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle. Then, is this worth anything to you guys? SF's key. 16, so about 3k. Eh, why not? Why not? You can now leave the place, like so. I'm not gonna bother investing in getting it. Ooh, what we can do though is pop off a quick little open market for 2.5k since we need the money. Yeah, why not? Alright, lovely. And then we'll sell it to these guys. SF's key. And we will have... I don't think they'll do it, but join war against Cult of Sigmar? No. I think we had them break all their agreements with the Cult of Sigmar. What about Knights of Caldor? Yeah, they'll do that. And nothing else. Alright, and then all your money. Like so. Alright. We're just causing just all kinds of havoc all over here and forcing factions to swap their territories around and such. It amuses me greatly. Anyway, Caliph, you're fine now. And these guys no longer have a port to be able to move towards you, so you're probably safe as well. Alright. Rinmo, I believe you have not moved. Wait, Krakenlord Kar has moved? Yes. Alrighty, Rinmo. Mr. Barbstorm. I guess you can keep in your current state in the sense that we can head to Bruce and it'll... wait. We can trade you your units, actually. A moment. You guys go into regular stances. You didn't need to upgrade anything, did you? Actually, you won't need any particular buildings. This is kind of useful, because you're mostly using Blackheart Corsairs and stuff. I like it. It'll work for me. Anyway, we'll use this, and then we'll have you take all of these guys, like so. And then we'll have you transfer the rest. Oh, was there one extra? No, there was not one. Well, there is, but it'll have to be a bit until we get that sorceress, so yeah. Alrighty, then you can proceed past Laguier, which we're ignoring, towards Bruce and Castle Quinnell, and... What's the likelihood that you go for this guy? Unlikely? I'm gonna hope that it's unlikely. We will want to start on those sacrificial pits next turn, though. You guys can sort of stay here, though, around these guys. Until we're ready to pop you into your own arcs. Well, maybe move a little bit more forward. Like so. And like so. Good and good. Alrighty, now you can't build anything yet, and you can't afford to build anything yet. You have no points that we need to assign as yet. Now, Mr. Fang Shield, Yeah, we could do the bleak swords with you. The physical resistance for the dark shards makes them better in a shootout, but considering the leadership isn't super useful for them, I don't think that's going to be just generally particularly useful. Carriers just here mostly to recruit stuff since we already have a couple of shadow darts and I don't want to, you know, overgo on the shades.
What do you see?
Although we will actually want a shade building here. You know what? Let's have you build a shade building. Yeah, I know that next... Well, we could wait a little bit. Yeah, fine, because we need to upgrade you to level 3. I do want a couple of shades in the Siraray's army just because of the stagger shot, since that's going to be a slowdown army. And should be pretty interesting, generally speaking. That means, I guess you guys are not going to take any advantage out of the... raise the banners thing. It wouldn't be expensive to build a few bleak swords at the end of the day. I mean, you could certainly do so. We gotta have some bleak swords and dread spears somewhere after all. Alright, fine. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Why not? That'll be the melee line, then we'll use something for your range line. Frankly, the dark shards will work well for that particular purpose as well. And we have 2 of the shielded ones under Cammering. We'll probably need some artillery in this army as well, so let's do that. Alright, looks good for those guys. And that's about it. And what do we have here? You two. Oh, right. The bleak swords are supposed to be joined by the masters, which have enfeebled defense to enable them to fight harder. So that's you, Mr. Nodus, and I believe that's one of these guys as well. Wait. Yeah, you. Alright, so that's going to be Mr. Fang Shield, so you're going to pop into that army. We'll need to check Death Hags as well. And then you, Black Arc Reaver, is supposed to join one of these guys. You already have your Black Arc Reaver, although admittedly I wouldn't mind another one, essentially. Something like a single entity, maybe net them down. Maybe we'll actually take one of these Black Arc Corsairs out and pop the second Black Arc Reaver in there rather than here, but we'll see. Anyway, let's check the Death Hags. We need... I was hoping for another Healy one. We do have another Perfectionist one, Sons of Murder, Master Infiltrator, Artful Assassin, Don't Care, and then none of these. Alright, well, heroes were easy. Let's see what else we need to do. Or are we good to... Actually, there's 2 things we need to do. First of all, the most important thing. We only have 1 turn, so we gotta recruit with Mr. Admiral Krakenlord. You. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the just maxed out, ludicrous ability, ludicrous Black Arc Corsair one. And you can have like 3 or 4 Black Arc Reavers, because it's all Black Arc Corsairs. Granted, it is annoying that they don't buff Black Arc Corsairs, but nonetheless. Anyway, 6 and 6. We'll need a Sorceress, which puts us to 14. We'll need at least 2 Black Arc Reavers, which puts us to 16. We'll need a Healing Death Hag, which puts us to 17. Master could be decent, but not necessarily necessary. Alright, let's do 2 and 2 more. Oh, that actually doesn't reduce the... cost of the Black Arc Corsairs with handbows by much. Anyway, we'll do that for now. And I guess since it doesn't reduce the cost of the ranged ones, we should probably take advantage and build more melee ones. Mr. Beastbinder, you... Oh, actually, wait. You... Let me just see here. Which of the beasts do we want to put in here? You could be a Hydra-focused one. It's still never going to be as useful as Hydras with the with a Beastmaster, but they will be considerably cheaper in your army. Yeah, why not? Maybe they'll do a little bit more melee heavy in terms of the Black Arc Corsairs in your army than this. Oh, right, you're both Beastbinders. Alright, maybe we'll do one of you range focus, more range focus, one of you more melee focus. You can have some chariots. And then the chariots will be combined with some other beasties. Manticores, for example. I did want some manticores, after all. They can protect the Scourge Runner chariots, and then the melee line will be of the Canbo variety. I like it, alright. That I think is good, and then we'll do 2 more here, and then we'll swap the melee and the range. Alright, everybody here is good to go. Our money is dropping to nothing, but hopefully we can get it back over the next turn. Let's check Diplo real quick, because we didn't do it this turn, but did it last. And, wait. I saw that Mr. Malice is not liking something. Gifts given to the Agents of the Moon. Oh, come on, man. My bad. How about we join your war against the Sires of Morcaine? For money, though.
business.
We could do the non-aggression pact. But also for money. Maybe we can sail on over and gift him some territories. And maybe he'll be a little bit less upsetty about it. Alright, and otherwise, we're okay. End turn.
The vampires, hags, and ghosts of the sea, playing pirate. How risible.
Ah, Lokhir. You are entertaining, sir. Oh, I forgot to give these guys Cassalongi. My bad. Okay, I'll do that next turn. Watch these guys. Watch Kuran immediately reclaim it. Do we want a full-on military alliance with them? You know, I did want an ally at least with one unit of Vampire, one faction of Vampire Coast, potentially, to get a couple of their monsters. The Rotting Prometheans, for example, without the zombies, I feel wouldn't screw with the aesthetic of our armies. But do we need to go full-on military lines? You know, we'll wait on this. A new regional power, Kuran. Not for long, I'd wager. Another little Alethanar stack. Ooh, I wonder if they're going after this little admiral here. Creator. Armies replenishing foreign territory. Hopefully that will help. Oh, in fact, I want to see something. We had... you. Did you start healing off of that? You did. Alright, so now our healing on the Black Arcs is considerably better than it once was, which is very, very nice. You are going to go into regular stance. I don't know why I started with you, but you're going to head out to that shipwreck and then go start fighting the High Elves under Imric here. I don't know why I didn't put you into March stance, but whatever. Too late. Alright, grab that island. Anyway, Lokhir, we're starting with you again. Rats, have you not occupied any of these territories? Orion, wellity. You can't reach him directly, can you? You cannot. Oh, we got another little pile of enemies running around. Well, let's move towards Orion. Only 45% damage success chance. Wait, I would like to use Sirare as bait. So, Sirare, you're going to go right here. If you can reach rank 10, it would be lovely. Let's go for Embrun. I really wasn't expecting Orion to be all the way out here, but I'm glad he is, and I'm hopeful for a nice bit of combat here. Success, beautiful. Oh, wait, we got 3 more turns of sacrifice to Karti, so we should make use of it. You go here, you go to Bruce, and keep an eye on what's going on out here. Success, and let me guess, success? There we go. Ah, it's so nice to have 100% success chance. Only for 3 more turns, but the sacrifice will come back. Now, we got the good tech of the replenishing territory. Is there anything else here that we really want as critical? I do really like the Vile Net ability because it'll give our Death Hags and Masters the Vile Net, and funnily enough, it'll make them maybe even more useful than the Black Arc Reavers, which admittedly aren't the most useful. Here, recruit rank +5 for Black Arc Reavers isn't bad either, considering every single Black Arc will be using at least some. I do like Loot and Glory, though, and I think we're going to start with that. Why Loot and Glory, if you're wondering? It's because we're doing a lot of auto-resolving on the coastlines, and the reload time reduction for the Black Arcs, assuming that works, will be really helpful. Lokhir. If you're fighting Orion, you're going to need the additional missile resistance, so let's max that out best as we can. And Death Hag. You have replenished troops, so we do want Retinue Valet. And we want Foe Seeker first or Retinue Physician. We can grab Renowned at least. Actually, you know what? Let's just go for Foe Seeker. Be able to reposition you quickly might be a nice thing to have. The Masters, we'll start with the lower level one. We are the Elite, so that's the important stuff, and we don't really need Retinue Trainer. I guess we could go through... Oh, Knightly Prestige, definitely Physical Resistance. I can't believe I forgot about that. Black Arc Reaver, you're maxed out with Seek New Corsairs. We have Esteemed Combatant, which is the good thing, and other stuff here are not the most important. We have Pillage. And now you're going to have to choose between... Handbow and Greatsword. I'm going to say Greatsword again. The Handbow is great, but as long as we have, you know, sufficient melee troops in an army, then I feel like I like the Greatsword more. Volley of Dark Arrows is just terrible, and then Handbow damage is not enough to warrant actually not getting all the extra damage out of this, so we'll do that. Alrighty. Then the other Master. What are you missing? We have We Are the Elite, Nightly Prestige. I mean, I guess we could max out Show No Weakness and then put all the rest of the points into making you real fighty. Lovely. And then lastly, the Sorceress of Death. I don't really care for Purple Son of Zeraeus, so I rarely use it. We could get a couple of points in Aspect of the Dread Knight for the rare occasions we need to force an enemy army to rout, but I'm almost more tempted to get the additional magic reserves, just so we can spam the other spells that I like to use more. Miscast base chance, magic reserves, and cooldown. Yeah, cooldown means more spirit leeches. Let's go for cooldown first. Alright, looks good to me, at least in Lokhir's army, and then you guys are just waiting, but I think we'll at least get Blade Wind just in case. We want Spiteful Conjuration? Let's get Spiteful Conjuration. Alright, almost a rank 10 on that Sorceress, and the gambling will return once more. Now, wait, where is... Oh, Alethanar. Absolute coward. Ran away. But the question is where? We don't have enough vision to see him. Oh, also, before I forget, let's, Actually, I wonder if these guys are going for Castle Longhi right now, or whether they're going for our Black Arcs.
Approach the Madame Captain.
Guess we'll find out in a second. Give us your money. Oh, you don't have enough money for that now. Do you want to join our war against anybody here? Does that actually help us in any way? Not really. Let's just give them this. Enjoy. We were never intending to hold on to it. Alright, anyway, let's do this from the top so that I don't get confused again. Camring. Chateau de Paix. You can sack it, although the public order here having popped off slave drive, maybe we shouldn't sack it. Alright, fine. We'll just regular occupy it, I guess. Mr. Barbstorm, auto-resolve, and free brass cleaver. Very nice find. Occupy. Alright, claim this place and then lose the brass cleaver in this army because it's one of the few armies where it's useful. Hey, we did get another slaver though. Wait, you can just get those from occupying settlements? We don't need to murder captives post-battle? Oh, that's interesting. Castle Aquitaine, Torbadouse. We need to pick one to upgrade. Aquitaine is more towards enemies, so I'm going to say start with you. Alright. I wonder where you're going to go. What's the likelihood that you sail out and somehow attack Admiral Rinmo? Low? I'm going to hope it's low. These guys might actually be able to go to sea. You know what? I'd like you to fight Orion, so I'm gonna just keep you here for now. Let's level you up just in case as well. I'm a little bit concerned. You're maxing out Chief Master and then Loose, and then the faster we can get Ravager rewards for the already high-rank Black Ark Corsairs would be great. You are gonna max out Replenish Troops and then go through Impassion to get your defenses higher. Then you will get increased mobility. In this army, I guess we'll go for Handbow because, yeah. Although, mincing melee troops with a greatsword might be good. I don't know, let's go for Plunder Troves for now, then. I also like that Black Ark Corsair or Fleet Masters don't have loyalty. They're completely loyal. So, we don't need to deal with that for them. Not that it's ever really been a problem outside of the, like, very early stages of a campaign. Anyway, Tech Thieves. Oh, I didn't move you this turn? Okay, my bad. Now, are we looking to occupy Leret? No, we can probably sack it a few times or raise it, but we don't actually care about it in and of itself. Steel Tech. Alright. Meaning, we can head Alarion, hopefully down from Barfleur and to Sigmarsheim, I guess? Yeah, let's go Sigmarsheim. I was gonna say Martel, but we can have, maybe... whoa. An enemy army. Go into channeling. Port Saul. Can you defend yourself against this? Huh.
I cannot.
You do have the minor settlement walls. We could upgrade your... You know what? Let's do this. Dark Tower. Rush. Defenses. Rush. There you go. There's no way. Absolutely no way you take this now. And then we can just slowly invest in the Dark Elf Harbor and whatever else we want to build here, like salt. And it's beautiful. Anyway, as I was saying, we need to do two things. We need to find Alethanar, and we need to... Oh, that was the only tech thief I didn't move. Where is Alethanar? He is... right there. In this little shroud of fog. You can't reach him. Can you reach him? Maybe. Start moving towards him.
Sail, damn you!
And, oh, he's just out of range. I take it you can't reach him either. Ah, what a pathetic little coward. Alright, well, I hate to chase enemies down like this. It's wasting the time of 2 black arcs, which is costing us money, but it is what it is. You go here, I guess. We'll see if he tries to move towards one of these places. I can't believe he's not even trying to attack these guys.
What?
At least try. Alright. Dread expansion, wait. What's your points like? Have Sheaf Master, we have Ravager rewards, and... what? Does Call the Unworthy buff the Reaper Bolter as it does, though admittedly they're not high enough level to actually get any benefit out of it at this time. Nonetheless, Call the Unworthy. And Infamous Raider, we want to get that Quartermaster. Might as well level these guys up, because if we fight Alethanar, we should be maxed out as best as we can. You. Replenish Troops, Renowned. And then lastly, the Shadow Sorceress. Yes to the Pit of Shades, and then I'm going to say Earthing, Arcane Conduit. We do want the additional magic power reserve per turn, because it's hard to get magics in the Black Arcs, but it is what it is. Anyway, you.
Tyrant of Nagaroth.
Do the same thing. Well, actually, you know what? He can't attack us this turn anyway, so we can just ignore that. Let's start from the top again. Kinwell Vale. Have you moved this turn? Oh, you can't move this turn because you're recruiting, so just sit there. Balthanol, you were the one that's trying to hunt down Aleth. Admiral Caleth, you have moved towards the island. This is why I should have done everything in order. And Moksha, you have not moved. And you can hit either Musion or Turris of Vigilance. It ultimately won't matter which one it is. They're both relatively poorly defended. Alright, so go sack Turris of Vigilance and occupy it, I guess. What's the public order here in Lycan? Oh, it's actually awful. And we have, yeah, you know what, just occupy it, I guess. Auto-resolve. And basically no damage. Ooh, I really want to see those cold ones in action. So hopefully we get a proper enemy to actually fight here soon. Alright, and then we'll immediately upgrade Tourist Vigilance, though sadly we don't have enough money to upgrade too many things right now. Ally mission successful, good. Who was after Mr. Moksha? I was really banking on that Alethanar fight this turn, and then he ran away like a coward. And that pathetic little Imperial army attacked us while our High Elf cousins decided not to. Sad. The Grand Black Arc, that costs all our money, but we need to upgrade it anyway, so why not? Omnamba, Lucius and Iliarch, you're all fine where you are, and then Twaren, you're just sitting there. One more turn, and ooh, the Sisters of Slaughter are expensive, but we will need more of them. Anyway, and I believe that's it. So we can skip, and then hopefully Alethanar or Orion will fall into some kind of fight. Let's find out. Talzin World Roots interception on this garbage army rather than Orion himself. A little bit disappointing, but what can you do? We'll still want to intercept and kill you off. And I guess heal up to full after it. Yeah, Clodbecker will attack. Alright, we'll fight this one. I guess it's... actually, you do get your power up when defending, so everybody here will have a bonus 25% physical resistance, which is pretty nice. Why not? Go. Alrighty, here we go. Our first Dreadlord, Alarian. Granted, she's a defensive Dreadlord for our captured coastal territories, but she'll still serve a decent purpose for that. And 25 physical resistance on the defensive is a pretty darn solid buff. Oh, I do like that shield quite a bit. Anyway, we've got a little bit of time until the enemy moves towards us, so I'm going to speed this up, and we do have 4 Reaper Bolt Throwers to menace them as they approach. If we should have sufficient battles with this army, as in if it's looking like the enemy will be attacking us more than we expect, we might actually give Alarian a proper force rather than just a defensive force. Admittedly, Dark Elf troops are really, really expensive, and I don't want to overdo it in the sense that without a Black Arc, the cost for the army is essentially going to be full, and thus much, much more expensive. Like, you could probably get 2 to 3 Black Arc armies up and running for the cost of getting a single regular army up and running, especially after they've got all of their buffs. and reductions for the costs. So yeah, definitely something we want to be wary of doing unless it's an army that is, you know, very functional. But we did need somebody to go inland and actually capture full provinces, so it wasn't just sort of isolated ports that we had. Anyway, the Reaper Bolt Throwers are doing good work. A little bit of a preview, I guess, for the Barb Storm army that will be reliant on the Reaper Bolt Throwers. Not a bad thing to get that here, and otherwise we await the enemy's arrival. Now, this may be a Sigmarite army, technically speaking, but it is a Sigmarite army in Bretonnia, so they're combining a lot of the Wardens of the West mounted yeomen together with all of those Pistoliers, but still a ton of cavalry, 8 or 9 cav units in the enemy army, and that we're just going to have to deal with. Handbow Corsairs would have been better, and remember when building this army I did say that the Handbow Corsairs probably would have been better here, but I built it this way because I figured it would be better for auto-resolve to have the Twin Blade variant. And either way, the Mounted Yeomen are still a very fragile unit. They're still a light cav, maybe a little bit tougher, at least in their current state, than our Dark Riders, but I'm willing to bet that we can make our Dark Riders, not the range ones, the melee ones, tougher than Mounted Yeomen eventually, though we'll see. Kind of interested to see what kind of buffs we can get them when they're to max them out. They'll obviously never be on a level of Cold One Riders, but with techs, with assassins, with a few particular red line buffs, we'll see. Anyway, the enemy army has well and truly arrived now. Our lord is fighting the enemy lord, and our twin blades are just trying to hold back the tide of enemy cav. And just like Camring's army before him, we have been having to deal with just a ton of cav over the course of this campaign, which has actually been quite nice. It's more difficult to deal with giant piles of cav because you can't separate your army too much from the units that are in need of protection, and thus it makes it a little bit more difficult than fighting super infantry-heavy armies. Just kind of contrasting it with fighting Kislev or the Empire, both of which admittedly can build a ton of cav, but they don't do so as much as the Bretonnian factions for obvious reasons. Well, I mean, I guess Sigmar's have is an Imperial faction, but again, an Imperial faction in Bretonnia. Anyway, with our twin blades out front, shielding and shadowing the enemy movements and preventing them from moving towards our bolt throwers and our dark shards, we're able to do plenty of decent work, trying to focus down those enemy pistoliers. And it looks like the enemy lord has been defeated by some Blackguard Corsairs. The Halberdiers are quickly being torn to shreds by the Corsairs as well, and it looks like the battle is very nearly ours. There we go. The horns of retreat sound, and the Sigmarites and Bretonnians alike will book it on out of there. The Lord falls, the Arch-Elector run down by Blackguard Corsairs. And we should be able to harry the enemy all the way to the edge of the map and defeat and destroy the vast majority. Nice. Alright, there we go. Some solid work out of Valerian here, and most of the enemy army is destroyed without us having to actually defend the settlement. I guess it makes sense that the enemy actually attacked Valerian rather than going for the settlement defenses with the Black Guard and the Executioners and the Dread Knights and whatnot, so yeah. Just in case we get attacked again, I guess we should enslave. Just in case. I would like the money, but let's not risk the entire army having to be re-recruited. The statue, huh? What is this? One of your lords is arrogantly thought to erect a giant brass statue in the capital without obtaining your permission. The statue is of Hukon the Sunderer, a minor deity. To make matters worse, you can see this eyesore from your balcony. What should be done? Top of the statue is a -5 control all provinces faction-wide, and we get a brass horn, which isn't too bad, giving us a standard die ability, but -25 control is a heck of a lot. Hukon be praised will give us a massive increase to income from sacking and looting settlements for 8 turns. Admittedly, we can make a lot of cash doing that. Though it will wound Ilarion, but it's not like Ilarion is a key character. I think considering how much we're sacking at the very least we're doing, this might actually be worth our time. So, character wounded for 5 to 8 turns, I take it. Hakan be praised. What a great opportunity to provide suitable praise to Hakan. Have the Lord tied to the statue and publicly flawed. After a victory, too, but anyway, Hakan be praised. Okay, I guess this means we need to pop in a temporary army, or temporary lord as a 8 turns wounded, yeah. As a, well, temporary lord. Is there anybody that has an interesting trait? Grim Feast's upkeep in enemy territory doesn't really help us. A vicious nobility. I don't dislike this idea, but it's kind of missile resistance on the entirety of the lord army isn't bad, and it is the same lord type. It is for a defensive army, after all. A fierce send to the Tormentor Sword. Might also not be the worst idea in the world. Allure of the Pale Queen gives us a army ability that's like a Net of Ammon talk, which ain't so bad. We do have the control and growth bonus, so I have fertility rights if we wanted a sort of a... Well, you know what? Let's do the sorceress. At least she can cast, but then can also make use of the fertility rights. Alrighty, Keeper of the Mountain and the Sires of Morcaine destroy it, and we had just declared war upon them after being friends with Malice, rather. Mad's Map. Huh. Does Mad's Map appear in... Does it work in the water? Huh, I guess we'll try it out. Chance to appear in a random nearby region. Huh. I'm actually very curious to see whether this actually works in the sea. We'll give it a try. Hey, one of our Black Arcs will be able to move far. Nah, you're getting closer and we can't go after you. Well, I could with the Sisters of Slaughter, but I fear that without additional units they take too much damage. Oh, huh. Oh, actually, no, we can't go after you. Not even close. So this place, for some reason, takes all of your movement. Go figure. And... hello, Blood Banner. Melee defense -5 and more frenzy and weapon strength might be worthy of our attention as well. Cold one for Hilarion, but you won't use it until she's back. Aurora has a Dark Pegasus. Cold one for Tech Thief. No. And next, okay, wait 1 second. I got to be right back. I have somebody at my door. Alright, that took a little bit longer than I'd like. Well, I guess not for you guys, but anyway, let's get a move on. Steel Tech right here from Shinon, though I guess I should have leveled you up. First block army, let's max that out. Admittedly, we haven't actually used any block armies yet, but out of all of those things, it's something I'm more likely, let's say, to use. I don't usually care to bother going around assassinating enemy heroes and all that, mostly because it's a hassle. Admittedly, I do get irritated when the AI actually does it to me. Mostly because I purposely try to avoid it. Obviously, we can get a bunch of heroes and just spam them. Oh, well, the Tech Thief that got ripped apart by failure came back. Unfortunately, by the time she gets back to the enemy territory, the sacrifice to Hecate will be gone. I'm almost tempted to delete this Tech Thief. By deleting her here, we would get the ability to... and get a Black Carcass Sorceress, and at least one of them is waiting for one. Probably several are, but anyway, I will think about it. Hopefully we can also just, you know, rush some construction as soon as we get money again. Oh, we're down to 714 gold per turn, and it's probably just gonna keep on dropping, but what can you do? Anyway, Tech Thief, good luck. Just succeed a couple times and maybe you'll level enough to where you won't need to worry. And was that the Tech Thief? Oh, Orion, you're an Embrun. I didn't realize that. You decided not to attack Lokhir, but you decided to sit here and, well, that's not gonna go much better for you, to be perfectly honest. And ooh, hopefully by leeching XP we can get enough on Sirare to get her Name of Power. We'll deal with that in a second. And actually, you know what? I lied. We'll deal with it right now. Do we need Druki First Strike here? Probably not. Unfortunately, it's kind of annoying, but all Wood Elf minor outposts get the same battle map as their main forested areas, which is frankly quite annoying to fight through, but what can you do? Anyway, Loki, you're going to go right here. Sirare, you're going to move in to reinforce. Do we have mounts for the two masters yet? Unfortunately not. And I did get you Blade Storm, right? Yes, Blade Wind, rather. Alright, let's level up the Black Arc Reaver here before we pop on into the fight. You... You have strength through spite, so we might as well go all the way through to heroic killing blow. We basically have time for one more quick fight before the episode's done, so we gotta get that fight done. Anyway, look here. I wanted you to play Orion this episode, and that hasn't changed. Go. Alrighty, they shall suffer indeed. Here we go, Lokhir. He's got plenty of regen on him now that we have the addition of his weapon. And he hopefully will not be as vulnerable to missile fire, as I do imagine the enemy will be trying to focus him down a fair bit. He's got regen, 66 missile resistance, 21 physical, and 18 ward, so hopefully he can ignore it all. Anyway, speaking of ignoring things, he's moving through the dryads, through everybody, including that darn tree man, who's gotten in his way a little bit, but he's heading directly for Orion as soon as he can. We've got a showdown here. It's Karnas versus Anathrema, and not so much Mathland, perhaps A, because we're on land, and B, because I figure that Mathland kind of favors Sea Lord Azelin a little bit, and especially considering end times and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, I don't know, maybe Anathrema is the way to go for Lokhir after all. Anyway, Wild Riders moving after us, but of course they're a critical target, and so we hit them with a Fate of Biuna as well as a Spirit Leech, so I think the Spirit Leech is at this point up, but reducing their stats and doing as much damage to them is absolutely critical, as the Wild Riders do insane amounts of damage if you let them. Admittedly, they are super fragile, but the damage they can deal more than makes up for it. Kind of similar to our own sort of dynamic. I mean, elves is elves, sort of, but I guess to some degree. But certainly Wood Elf units and Dark Elf units do share the whole do high damage, take high damage kind of dynamic, as I said. Anyway, Orion versus Lokhir and his Sea Dragon here is not going so well for Orion, who's down to maybe 10% of his HP, and should be falling any second now, and 143. Oh, I thought that would have been the final blow, but apparently not. And is he trying to run away? I don't think that's going to fly, my friend. And down Orion goes, taking a wound to the back, the hunter having become the prey here. Fantastic. Alright, well done, Lokhir, and that still only taken about 10% of his HP and damage. Granted, I assume that he has taken damage, but simply healed it all up. Anyway, while all that was interesting, let's see how the rest of the battle is proceeding, and how he actually did this particular fight. Up where Lokhir advanced with his own twin blades, his own twin blade corsairs, moved with him, led by the Death Hag, because she provides the physical resistant buffs for him. Otherwise, or for them rather. Otherwise, all the way over on the right side of the map, / the center of the enemy settlement, is where we sent in all of our Black Ark Corsairs with handbows, as well as the Ice Blades Bleak Sword. A Bleak Sword unit, I guess. For the reason that, well, right now they're fighting dryads. There were a lot of enemy range units here, and they had a lot more space to move in this particular territory than they did in others, which means we wanted to be able to fire at them while we ran at them, and hence the Corsairs with handbows. Both of our Masters and our Black Ark Reaver are here as well to net down Wild Riders and to, well, hit those Wild Riders as hard as we could. Anyway, the dryads are getting torn apart, and the a unit of Eternal Guard here are in bad shape as well. Do take a little bit of a chill wind. Not overcast though, so not a crazy amount of damage. Nice little particle effect though. The chill wind particle effect matches the Malevolent Dryad, so Draika might enjoy that a little bit more. Oh, really gotta send somebody over to Draika, see if we can't get an alliance going. I'd really like a few Wood Elf units. You gotta admit, putting a few Azrai War Dancers or something in with some of our, I don't know, Witch Elves and stuff, might be just just the thing. And we can always say that those elven units, or those wood elven units, if we can manage to make friends, are out of the wildwood, and so a little bit more inclined to do the stuff that the Dark Elves are inclined towards. Anyway, the battle is very much going our way with the bounce power at about 90%. Obviously, Orion has long fallen, and ooh, I think I spoke too late rather than too soon, as it looks like with that, the last of the enemy shatter, and the battle is ours. While a few ranged units remain, and a couple of melee units, I guess the army losses and lord loss was sufficient for the enemy to give up. Very nice, and looks like Lokhir is back to full HP after all that regeneration. Fantastic. All right, there we go, and 14k for our trouble, and it was a really nice fight. Lokhir managed to rack up 48,000 damage, all the while taking a decent bit of time to hunt down Orion, which is why we came here in the first place. After all, we have to prove that Anathrema, the goddess of the savage hunt, is much superior to Kurnus, and taking down the avatar of Kurnus, I do think that we've achieved that, at least for now. Otherwise, we've got, let's see, 14, 18, ooh, looks like, yeah, Kraken's teeth at 19k damage for the twin blades are the winners, and with 18k damage, the arc keepers, well, they don't just keep the arc, they also shoot things in the face and then stab them, depending on what their mood is like. Anyway, we've got 10k damage on the ice blades, which is pretty solid. They're about to be transferred to Sirire's army, so this might be the last fight that they have in Lokhir's, and generally speaking, went pretty well. Close victory for us. We will, honestly, not worth a lot of sack value, money-wise anyway, but we can at least use it to heal up. I'm almost a little bit wary of Lokhir running out of movement range and thus Sirire not being there. We can still get the piles of slaves and trade it back to these guys anyway, so you know what, we'll do loot and occupy instead, since the sack value is basically nothing. Alrighty, and then melee attack during forest battles. Orion has a kind of terrible trait. I wish that it was at least melee attack +2 during forest battles faction-wide. Orion definitely has a terrible trait, and I get why he has it like that, but it's still bad. Anyway, Sirire, yeah, rank 10, alright, aristocrat, no, revered name of, oh, I almost picked the wrong name of power, alright, so choose a name of power that improves the army, yeah, not the lord, not the province, yes, improves the army. Now, let's see what we got here. So, we got another Grey Vanquisher, which would give us access to Doomfire Warlocks and Scourge Runner Chariots, but the 25 armor and 10 melee attack only applies to Shades and Dark Riders. That said, I did say I wanted to get some slowdown units in this army to combine with the Medusae, so the Stagger Shot Greatsword Shades could work here decently well. The other option would be to go for Kraken Claw, but we already have those, and I mean, I don't want you to guys get too tired of the Blackguard Corsair, as fun as it is, so I think we'll go for Grey Vanquisher, and we'll use this to power up Shades, grab maybe a couple of Doomfire Warlocks, maybe, for the poison, or maybe not. I had the earmarked for another army. It's just that if this is going to be a full-on slow-down army with lots of the speed auras, and the additional speed reduction might be nice, but we'll see. Take them by surprise. Alright. And at least this partially decides what this army is going to be like. We still need to get it somewhere where they can recruit Medusa, though, so hopefully the carrier... Can you actually remove the name Admiral from your thing? No, you cannot. So you'll always have to be Admiral Carrier. Maybe I should just remove Shadow Dart out of your army. Yeah, but I'd like to remember what it does. Oh, and I guess we do need Shades for this army anyway, so we'll build that. Anyway, we'll have to consider that another time, or next time rather, as we're out of time, and I'm going to call the episode here. Next time, we will continue moving through these territories. Lokhir is sort of passing by the Wood Elves, but having defeated Orion, I'm already pretty happy about the whole thing. We got about 10 turns to take advantage of the Hakan Be Praised, armies, then want to make a decent bit of cash, which will hopefully get us even more armies on the field. I want to get at least a couple of units of Blackguard of Nagaron, and maybe a couple of... Too bad Life Quencher doesn't do anything for Executioners, and Executioners in another army. Haven't really gotten that trait yet, but we do have more Fleet Masters coming up, so and that'll change soon, I'm sure. Anyway, more Dark Elves to come, or Lokhir to come, and where the heck did he go now? Oh, I am so sick of Alethanar. 1 second. I'm gonna forget this. I just want to know where this jerk face has gone to now. Where's Harganeth? Alethanar, where is he? He's gone here? He's gone right there. I assume we can't reach him still? Try. Let's see what we got.
For the Witch King.
And, ooh, we are just in range. Beautiful. So, next episode we will start with Admiral Belthanol Shadow Dart, finally hunting down Alethanar. It'll be Shadow Warriors versus Shades, and I think we all know who are the superior pick here. Anyway, stay tuned for more. Ooh, did these guys lose their army? Wait. Confederation, minus 36. Getting there. They started re-recruiting another army while the other one was busy dying. We'll get there. Anyway, more Dark Elves, etc., etc. Likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.